Over the years, we've had an opportunity to talk with Jay Yelas about an event that means a lot to him, but also means a lot to a lot of people. The 6th Annual Cash for Kids Foundation, the Waco Gala and auction coming up on Friday. This gives special needs children a chance to go and catch a fish and enjoy the great outdoors. And Jay Yelas has been a spokesperson for the event for a long time, and we know Jay, love Jay, appreciate his time, Bassmaster champion as well. Jay, thanks for your time, and yet here we are again with yet another one of those Cast for Kids events, and your thoughts about just what it means to you to be involved and what it means, more importantly, to the kids.
Oh, yeah, so thanks, David, for having me on, and yeah, we're getting ready this Friday night, June 24th, to have our 6th annual Cast for Kids Waco Gala and fundraising auction there in Waco, and we are excited to come back and see all of our friends down there in Central Texas. And the Cast for Kids Foundation is all about enriching the lives of children with special needs through the sport of fishing. And we put on events not just in Texas, but all over the nation. And we have more events in the great state of Texas than anywhere else. We'll have about 30 events in Texas alone this year. We'll have about over 80 nationwide. And the events provide special needs kids an opportunity to come out and to be loved and just to have an opportunity to enjoy a day of boating and fishing, sometimes shore fishing. Most of our events are boating events, and they're all put on by volunteers from local communities that want to, show these kids that they're loved and valued, and the community volunteers to come out and celebrate the kids. So a morning at a Cast for Kids event, a morning of fishing is followed by lunch and then an award ceremony where each child receives an award plaque with their photo in it. They get a standing ovation and they get to talk into the mic about their day, and they're just cheered on by their community. And it's a special day for those kids, and they are why we do it. And it's just an opportunity to, bring some sunshine into their life and to provide them an opportunity to go boating and fishing that they wouldn't otherwise have. And it's a lot of fun, to be honest with you, because the events are kind of a win-win for everybody. The volunteers love it, the parents of the children love it, and of course the kids they have a ball. And a lot of them, they have never been fishing before, so it's something new. And when they arrive to the event, they're kind of unsure about how fishing will go, and they end up falling in love with it, and they just have the best time and catch their first fish. And there's just a lot of joy at those events. So anyway, we have an annual fundraiser each year to help us be able to provide more of these opportunities to special needs kids in Texas and around the country.
You could go to castforkids.org, the website for the events going on, learn more about it as well. castforkids.org. That's the Cast for Kids Foundation homepage as well, and helping some young people have a chance to feel that exhilaration. Jay, I have a friend of mine that has a cabin up in the Smoky Mountains in Tennessee. I don't fish very much, but I don't know if it's hard. It's almost impossible to describe the feeling when your hook sets. Like you have a fish on your hook. Can you kind of describe that the first time you ever felt it, long time ago, and the millions of fish you've caught since?
Yeah, it is a special event in somebody's life, and it's something that they don't forget. I still remember the very first fish I ever caught. I was with my grandfather. We were up on a pond, and we were fishing with a topwater lure, and we were an old jitterbug, and the topwater lure for bass. You throw it out and reel it slowly on the surface, and a bass came up and ate it, and I was hooked for life. I ended up making a career. Most events in life, most days come and go, and you forget them. But people don't forget the first fish they ever caught. It's a lifetime memory, and that's what we're able to help provide to these children at these Cast for Kids events. And it's something special. We hear from their parents all the time, how the kids, it means so much to them. And we give them a free fishing pole or tackle box and an award plaque and some lures and different things. And the parents tell us the kids go home and they sleep with their fishing pole in their bed for the next couple of weeks.
Wow.
They've had so much fun. It's just a great memory. You know, I mean, they don't all do that, but a lot of them do that. And we hear from parents all over the country all the time how their kids slept with their award plaque or they sleep with their fishing pole. And they just, it means a lot. It's a fun charity to be a part of. I really enjoy it.
My father told me when I was a kid we fished a lot throughout his life, and he always told me there's no such thing as a bad day fishing. If you catch nothing, it's still not a bad day because you're fishing. And
that's exactly true.
Yeah, I mean, there's no such thing. And you guys, in the event, in the fundraiser event, you guys have a lot of cool stuff that you auction off, and it's bass professionals from around. You know, if you're a fan of bass fishing or fishing in general, people you would know that are involved with this all over the country, right, Jay?
Right, and we find that these fundraisers are a great way to raise money for the foundation because people get something in return for their donation. And we have guided fishing trips all over the state of Texas available. Just about any lake you can think of with really top-notch pros or guides. We have saltwater trips. Skeeter donates a 2-day Venice, Louisiana red fishing trip, and we've got Lake Fork and OH Ivy, and I mean Lake Waco, even just all over Texas. There's all kinds of fishing trips and some hunting trips in there too, and a lot of outdoor stuff. And so it's a great opportunity for folks to get hooked up with a great fishing trip, and all for the benefit of the Cast for Kids Foundation that'll provide opportunities for special needs youth to go fishing.
Jay, what is the feeling like when you know that you've had a good day in a bass fishing tournament? It's not like there's a scoreboard most of the time, like you're playing a regular sport, and like, okay, if this just happens, there's a lot of mystery to it when you're driving in, but you kind of have the feeling that I think I might have done it today. This might be my day where I've got this tournament. Yeah,
well, I've done it for over 30 years, and so you kind of have a feel for what kind of day you've had. And when you spend thousands of days fishing like I have, when you've been really blessed that you've actually caught more fish than you probably should have that day. They're all big. And I mean, you just know, fisherman knows when they've had a really blessed day of fishing. And so that doesn't mean you're going to win the tournament, but you usually have a really high finish when you have one of those special days. And tournament fishing just adds to the thrill of catching fish, but it's just one of many ways to enjoy the It's a very relational sport for spend time with your kids or your grandfather or your brother or your old college buddies, or some people enjoy it fishing alone. That's a lot of fun too, and it's a good time to fishing with kids. So the one thing I wanted to mention is besides our live auction at our Gala in Waco, we also have a silent online auction that's going on all this week, Friday night. And folks can find that also at our same website, castforkids.org. And a lot of those fishing trips I mentioned that are being auctioned off, they're on the online auction, so people can get on there from anywhere in America and bid on those trips.
I had somebody on our chat room that watches us on YouTube. Mr. Yelas, thanks. I'm in Hot Springs, Lake Hamilton, which I've driven by many a times on our way to Hot Springs Village. Saw you've had great tournaments on Hamilton and Ouachita. What's the secret?
Oh, well, I have enjoyed fishing up there in Arkansas, and I guess the secret is to go early, work hard, put a lot of time in, and there's no substitute for time on the water. That's how you learn and get good at fishing. And just like anything in life, you gotta really love what you do, because it takes a lot of hard work to get to make a living at fishing. But there's those guys that do make a living at it. They're really hard workers. They put long hours in, and they're really passionate about what they do. So, but yeah, I love fishing up there in Hot Springs. Lake Ouachita is one of my favorite lakes in the country. It's beautiful.
All right, so you hear about pitchers who have issues sometimes with Tommy John, the lumbar, or whatever. Injuries are a part of a sport. So what's going on with your tendonitis? What's happening there with you?
Yeah, I actually I've got experienced the first injury I've had in 35 years as a professional fisherman. I had, a couple months ago, I turns out I tore some tendon off the bone in my elbow, and the pain has really been excruciating. It's not uncommon for tournament fishermen to experience what I've had. I've been fortunate to go so long without an injury like this, but yeah, it's extremely painful. So I had to actually withdraw from the last tournament. We were at Lake Fork, and I was doing pretty well in the tournament, and about halfway through the event, I had to withdraw from it. It was just I couldn't even turn the reel handle without extreme pain in my elbow. So I had to yank myself out of competition, and it just needs rest. I've seen sports medicine doctors, and I mean, I'm praying I don't have to go the surgery route, but I'll know in a few months. I'm trying to let it heal on its own and not use it. And so, but it's a repetition of fishing. When you're in a tournament, you're fishing 6 days in a row, and you're making 2,000 casts a day. And then you get a week off, and you go to the next tournament and do it another 6 days in a row. And so and a lot of guys have dealt with that in either their elbow or their shoulder or their wrist. It's a pretty common injury amongst fishermen. And but as you get older, I guess I got to work a little harder at keeping in shape. But I don't know. I'm just, like I said, thankful I've had a good 35 years of fishing injury free, so I can't complain about this.
Well, yeah. Relax that a little bit. It's and I know you will. Listen to the doctors. Mike Games on the chat room. I love going up to Hudson Bay in Canada when I was younger to go fishing. Somebody else asked the Ohio River, a carp in Ohio River. Somebody mentioned whether you had ever been fishing in India. Have you ever been in Indiana fishing?
Lake Monroe.
Where? Lake
Monroe.
Yeah, we have a Cast for Kids event each year on Lake Monroe, Louisiana.
There you go.
And there's some awesome kids up there. Brandon and Amy, they're the local folks that coordinate that event. They do a great job. They've been doing that about 4 or 5 years in a row now. But yeah, there's some good fishing in Indiana, especially at my favorites up there in Lake Erie and the very northern end of Indiana. That smallmouth fishing on the Great Lakes is top notch. It's the best in the world, and that's my favorite fishing up in that part of the country is for those smallies in the Great Lakes.
Jay, you're great for doing this. Cast for Kids, again, castforkids.org. The event coming up this weekend in Waco. Again, the gala and also the auction at the Lee Lockwood Library and Museum starts open the doors at 5:30. Alton Jones, I think, and Alton Jones Jr. are going to be there as well. Is that correct, Jay?
Yeah, they are. The Jones father and son duo are going to be our guest speakers for the evening program. And then there's a few other celebrities will be in house. T. Roy Broussard from the Swamp People TV show, he's going to be there. Mountain Man from Duck Dynasty will be there. And Frank Talley at Bass Pro from Temple, Texas will be there. There'll be some other guys. So it'll be a lot of fun, and all for a great cause, getting these kids out fishing.
Thanks for your time, Jay. Good luck with your comeback. Again, Jay Yelas, 2003 Bassmaster champion and also a member of the Bassmasters Hall of Fame. So love what he's done for this event. Cast for Kids, CASTFORKIDS.org. Again, that's coming up on Friday and the weekend for the young kids to have a chance to get that bam, you feel it on the hook, you feel it on the reel, and it's unlike most anything you've ever felt before.
And when he says they have events all over the country, he's not kidding. I mean, it's not like sometimes people say that and you're like, oh yeah, you have 4 events. No, they have events. It's like every single week they've got something going on. Cast for Kids, it's somewhere in the country. It's a great organization, and I put the link in the chat room for anybody who's interested. Juan even said they've got stuff out there in California, so that so wherever it is, they've got an event there. Believe me, it's all over the place.
Auburn wrapped up